Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be working on installing our bumper on our 2007 JKU. So a couple parts I bought is one is the winch plate, the Smitty 2804. I also bought another 2019 Rubicon 10th anniversary front bumper, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. But the focus of this video is I want to share with you guys how you can modify this winch plate to go on top of your Rubicon 10th anniversary front bumper. And that front bumper, I gotta tell you, is one of the best looking bumpers out there by Jeep Mopar, only because the wings, you can remove the wings, right? And so that you can have a little more stubby kind of a style bumper, which I really like. So I'll show you guys that in a little bit. And the reason why I want to do this video is because the winch that I am putting on here and the setup I want is for it to sit above the bumper. So that's why you see this mounting plate on top of my bumper mount right here, as you guys can see. And just because I just like the look of it, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But the instruction here, now, I've always said that the Smitty build folks have done a really good job of putting together instructions. Well, this is probably one of the worst instructions I have seen. Now, they described it probably okay, but if you guys are new to putting bumpers on or putting on winch mounts, this could be a little frustrating. So I want to show you guys just a little bit about how this goes on through this video, so that if you guys are looking to mount this 2804, you can get a little better visual perspective. And then we'll go on to talking about mounting the bumper here and the fabrication I had to do to make it all fit. And I think you guys are gonna really like the way it turned out. So let me bring the camera in and show you guys. Okay, so in the box, you basically get three main pieces. You got the winch mount, then you got passenger side and a driver side mounting plates. And those mounting plates mount to the frame of your Jeep and to the winch plate. Now, one thing, so let me go through, you guys, how I installed this. The instruction was just, in my opinion, not all that great. I wish they would have put a little bit more pictures like they have in all previous Smitty builds that I bought. But in this case, let me just show you guys real quick what the instruction looks like. So you get about a 5-page instruction, and this is the only page that has illustration. Now, I'm a big on pictures. I love pictures, illustration with some steps and things like that. But look at this. They crammed all these, use this 1/2 inch, 1 inch bolt with or 7/16 by 1 whatever, right? Anyways, they put all these boxes and labels over the actual winch frame, and a lot of us are very, very visual. Well, you can't really tell what these pictures are. It's so fuzzy and low resolution. It's just garbage. So I hope that this video here gives you a little better visual of what you guys, what you can expect in this Smitty built winch plate. Okay. So what you want to do is obviously try and use all your factory bolts if you have it. So in the instructions, they want you to put the winch plate and its two brackets together, but very loose. Okay, and then bring it down into your Jeep and try to mount it here. Well, with both ends of the bracket installed and hanging loose, it was impossible to guide this into the bumper with both pieces on. So after fiddle farting with that for about 10 minutes, I improvised and I took one side off, just kept on just the one side. Let me get a little light up here. So after fiddle farting with this for about 10 minutes, I improvised, and and let me show you guys the best way to do this. So first of all, I had a hard time figuring out which one was the passenger side, which one was the driver's side. And the best way to do this is take your bracket, just the bracket itself, bring it down into the frame, and you can see that this bracket right here has a little notch. This notch contours right over the frame rail right here. So that's how you can tell whether this is the passenger side and the driver's side, which has the exact same little notch right here. Okay. Okay, so what I had to do was, with this one side just mounted to the winch plate, you want to slide this bracket. This is all one piece, I mind you, with this bolt is right here. You want to slide this bolt behind this condenser tube. Okay, then once you got that in there, come over to the other side and then proceed with mounting this plate onto the winch plate while you're juggling one hand on the plate and other hand with the nuts and bolts. So if you have some help, like a buddy, that would make this job a little easier. So then you come in here with the bracket, you get it up here, first slide this guy underneath this condenser tube right here, and then start putting your bolts and whatnot into the winch plate. So that was the key, and they weren't very clear in the instructions, but I found that to be the best way for me with this 2007. Now, the other models and years could be a little bit different down here. I'm not really sure. So again, this is for 2007 JKU. Okay, and secondly, make sure you put bolts in all the holes that you see on this winch mount. Okay, because you got these two basically down here holding the plate, and also you had one up here to keep it from coming forward. And this is, so you have 3 bolts holding the winch plate onto the frame, and you want all 3 of them. These 3 bolts on top, they're just simply holding the winch plate to this mounting bracket, the lower mounting bracket, if that makes sense. Okay, so make sure you get all 3 bolts into the winch plate. Okay, and then one thing here, these little tabs here, make sure you guys don't discard this. You're gonna want this, which is basically, it's like a long piece of metal, I don't know what you call it, a handle, and the other end has a nut that goes right here into this bolt hole on both sides, if that makes sense. And as you guys can see, I put some bolts in here, and I use a little vice clamp to kind of suck everything in, so that as I'm tightening everything down, everything will stay and true and square. So when I bring the bumper in, it'll just slide right in, hopefully. That's the goal. Hey guys, so this is the following day. I was up all night last night hacking away at this winch and this winch plate. I had to do a little bit more modification to the actual winch plate itself. So Smittyville actually added these angle bars on both sides, which is kind of a bummer because I had to shave that off last night to fit this VR 10S winch on this mount. So that being said, I think we are ready to go, and we're ready to go ahead and put the bumper on the JK, and let's see how it looks. And then I'll go through with you guys all the mods I've done so far to make this work. So be right back. Let me go grab the winch. Oh, yeah. Okay, so what do you guys think? So one of the issues I was trying to explain to you yesterday without seeing the bumper, is that this particular bumper had a little bit of a rise over the front, and it didn't fit quite well with this Smittybilt winch bracket. So I had to cut away some sections on this side and that side over there to make it all fit. So now that I got that done, the bumper went on pretty easily. Now we're just ready to put the 4 bolts on. Okay, so now that I got it all buttoned up, what do you guys think? You like it? Is that winch on top of the bumper a little archaic? Oh yeah. So that's why, one, I went with this style, is because I like the archaic look. It reminds me a lot of my 40, my Land Cruiser 40, and the 60, where it's mounted a little more upright up on top of the bumper. And I wasn't really, gung-ho about hiding my winch inside my bumper, because if you guys see my other videos and things that I haven't put on YouTube, I've had my fair share of winch issues. And when you're on the trail and if you have a winch issue, it's so much easier to fix or troubleshoot whatever if your line and your motor and all the electrical things is on top, really easy to access. When it's hidden down here, it makes it very difficult, especially, for example, if your line ever breaks, where you're pulled out all the way to, let's say, 90 feet, and you're on the last couple wraps on the drum, and that little, connector on the drum pops off. If it was down in the bumper, you're gonna have to tear the entire bumper off to fix that winch line. So, this is from experience. So that's why I really wanted to fabricate something to where I wanted a newer style bumper. And this is all steel, by the way. And I wanted the winch to be on top. And there's nothing out there that makes this configuration. You cannot buy this bumper with some mounting bracket to go on top. They all sit inside the bumper, which looks really great look. It looks fantastic. Looks like a Tesla. It's smooth. It's almost hidden. But for what I do, what I want to do, and how, it was really important that I put the winch on top. So to do that, I had to fabricate my new bumper, which I cut out basically a notch right here on both ends. Under this plate right here, there's a plate that goes straight down. So there was no way that I can slide the bumper in without cutting this notch out off the top of my bumper. So that was easy. That was only about a maybe 2.5, 3 inch cut from the front to the back, then over, like 2 inches. So it's not that bad. But if you want this look, and if you want a newer bumper with a winch on top, the Smittybilt winch bracket is a great option. The other thing I had to do to make this winch work or to be mountable on top of this bracket is I had to grind down the corner right here on this EVO model of the WARN winch. They had these little fins that come out, and this bracket came into that fin, so I didn't want to grind up my winch. So instead I took a grinder and grinded both sides to accommodate that fin. Okay, so there you go. Hope you guys like the look and the functionality of this setup. I think this is really the best way to go, in my opinion. And I'm gonna do another review, a video on this WARN winch. I'm gonna show you guys one reason why this WARN winch is one of the best out there. Hold on, let me show you. You see this free spool? If you guys watch my previous videos, okay, this free spool is huge. Now I'm gonna pull this with just one finger. Watch this. So easy. Look at that, it just yanks right out. And no other winch out there can do that. If you guys can find a winch besides WARN, other brands that can pull a free spool that easy and with a fast line speed, let me know. And love to hear your guys' comment on that. But I would also like to hear your guys' comment about this bumper right here. I took the wing off that goes right here. I took the little extension off. I didn't like it for many reasons. Because one, it blocks that tire. If you're trying to get up on a rock, that bumper is just gonna get bashed up anyways. So that's why I took that off. But yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know. I really love it. I'd like to see your guys's, modification if you've done any. So there you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on this winch and bumper modification and install. And if you guys want to see more things like this, it'd be great if you guys subscribe to my channel and support me in that way. If you have any comments, please leave me those comments down below about what you guys think, what you would have done differently. And let me know if you guys like this or not. So I'm Brian with the Wagon Family. Until next time, we'll see you guys on the trail.